first off, we're going to do a review because we talked about proportions before. That's how you set up geometric means. It's just a proportion. So remember, if I'm going to work this first one, I would cross multiply. What's 3 times 20? And then 5 times x would be 5x. Divide by 5. So what is 60 divided by 5? 12. Next one, cross multiply. 6 times x is 6x. What's 27 times 3? Is it 81? Is that right?
So 74.
Not that far off.
74. Yeah, because it's 74.
Divide by 6. So what is 81 divided by 6? 13.5. And then here, this is more like the problems that you're going to be seeing. So right here, it's 8 times 2, which is 16. What is x times x? X squared. How do I get rid of x squared? What's the last step of Pythagorean theorem?
Square.
The square root, right? So that means that x is equal to. Now remember, from Friday, breaking down those radicals. Okay, no decimals, breaking them down. So anytime you think you have an answer, we're not doing decimals, we're going to be breaking it down. So a geometric mean, it says for any positive numbers a and b, that such the positive numbers x, such that, right here, this is like what we just did. We're finding the geometric mean. The geometric mean has to do with the similar triangles. Anytime they ask for the geometric mean and they give you 2 numbers, you set it up as 12 over x and x over 3. The main part is that when you cross multiply, you want to get x squared. And what's 12 times 3? 36. And then from there, what do? Take the square root. What's the square root of 36? 6. Okay. Same thing right here. 2 numbers, they ask for the geometric mean. 8 over x, x over 6. That would give me x squared. And 6 times 8 is what? 72? What do you think? 48? Now what do I have to do?
Square root of x, square root of 48.
Okay, I don't want decimals. So somebody remind me, how can I break it down? How can I break 48 down? 2 and 24, 2 and 12, 2 and 6, 2 and 3. Remember, if I broke it down, it goes away, right? Now what do I need to do? Pairs. So I have a pair here, and I have a pair here. What happens to my pairs? I know, but what happens to them?
You go outside.
They get to come outside the house. So 2 times 2 is 4 outside of the house. And what has to stay in the house?
3.
Okay? 3 and 9. 3 over x. X over 9. X times x is x squared. 3 times 9 is 27. Now what? Good. Now I have to take the square root. Don't want decimals. Break it down, right? Can I cut it in half? How can I break 27 down?
You have decimal.
Isn't it 3 and 9? Can I break the 9 down? 3 and 3. I have a pair of 3s. So it's going to be 3. Ooh, this other one is just 2 square root of 3 over x. X over 3 square root of 3. X times x is x squared. Let me put this like you're more used to. 2 square roots of 3 times 3 square roots of 3. What is 2 times 3? 6. Oh, look, I have a pair. What happens when I get a pair? It gets to come out 5. What's 3 times 6? 8. You with me? Okay. So here, outside the house with outside the house, we multiplied them and got 6. Here I have a square root times a square root, which is just it gets a pair, so it gets to come out of the house. It's 3. 6 times 3 is 18. And then from here, I would take the square root of that. Here I can break it down to what? 2 and 9? 3 and 3. So my answer would be 3 square roots of 2. Yes.
What would happen if you did not have a pair?
Then you would just leave it inside the house. Okay, so how? Okay. Now we're going to review about similar triangles and setting up those proportions, right? And I told you when you were doing those to label them. The one across is your hypotenuse, and then you have your long leg and your short leg. Remember, your long leg is not the longest side your hypotenuse is. So on this one over here, this one is my hypotenuse, and this would be my long leg and my short leg. Everybody got that? Well, which one do I want? Which one am I looking for? The long leg. So when I'm doing that, let's set up, I want my long leg. Well, in this one, the only other one I have is my hypotenuse. So it's going to be x over 16. And then over here, what's my long leg? 8 over my hypotenuse, which is 10. Please stop talking. Okay, and then again here we cross multiply. So that we can be 10x. 16 times 8, what's 16 times 8? 16 times 8. Divide by 10. So x is 12.6. Try number 2. Okay, so on number 2, what we realized is that it was the exact same problem as number 1. They just rotated those triangles where they look differently. Okay. On the next one, I still encourage you to go ahead and label your sides. Which ones are they? So that way it avoids. What we're fixing to do, same thing, you're going to be labeling short leg, long leg, hypotenuse. And it's going to help. So on this one, we're looking for the short leg, and I have the hypotenuse. So it's short leg over hypotenuse. So it's x over 12. And if you switch those into hypotenuse over short leg, that's fine. Short leg is 2, your hypotenuse is 8. That gives me 8x is equal to 24. Divided by 8. So that means that x is equal to 3. And then over here on number 4, again, this is my hypotenuse, this is my long leg, this is my short leg. Hypotenuse, long leg, short leg. So over here, I want my long leg, I have my short leg, so it's x over 3. Over here, this would be 10 over 4, so that's 4x is equal to 30. Divided by 4, what's 30 divided by 4? Okay. What we're doing today with geometric mean is basically the same thing, but they don't have to give us as much information. Okay. Put your papers over to the back. Oh wait, I want to show a video real quick. Okay, so an altitude to the hypotenuse of a right triangle forms 2 triangles. So if I have my great big triangle and I drop that altitude in here, then really what I end up with is 3 triangles. And they're telling us that the 3 triangles are similar. That's like the index card we just looked at. I have 3 triangles that are similar. So if I'm looking at this one here, I can label them with short leg, long leg, hypotenuse. So if I'm looking at this one, I have my short leg, I have my hypotenuse, and I have my long leg. On the other triangle, over here, I have my hypotenuse, I have my short leg, and I have my long leg. This is the geometric mean. right? Now remember, the geometric mean is the one where we multiplied them together in the last problem on that video. So what this is saying is if I have these two sides, I can say 3 over x and x over 6. Because I'm going to multiply here. Here that would be my short leg over my long leg. My short leg over my long leg. But I can start seeing a pattern now that when I have my geometric mean, or I'm looking for my geometric mean, and I have these two little pieces, I don't have to think short leg, long leg anymore. Because now I have x squared is equal to 18. From there I would take the square root of both of them. And now I can break down the 18. 2 and 9, 3 and 3. So my answer should be 3 square roots of 2. On the next one, it did not give me the geometric mean. So if I'm looking at this triangle, it gave me the little triangle, this triangle right here. It gave me the hypotenuse, the long leg, and this is the short leg. On the other triangle, they didn't give me anything for this little one, did it? But if you look at the great big triangle, they gave me the hypotenuse, this is the short leg, and this would be the long leg. So what I want to use is the hypotenuse and the long leg. So hypotenuse over long leg. On the green triangle, my hypotenuse is y, and my long leg is 8. On the large triangle, my hypotenuse is 12, and my long leg is y. So y times y is y squared, and 8 times 12 is what, 96? Is that right? So then I take the square roots. And now I'm back to breaking it up just like we had. Well, I can divide that by 3, because that would be what, 32? 32 I can cut in half. That would be 16. 16 is 2 and 8. 8 is 2 and 4. 4 is 2 and 2. Everybody with me so far? Now I'm looking for my pairs. I have a pair of 2's here, and I have a pair of 2's here. So 2 times 2 is 4. And then I have a 3 and a 2 that don't have a pair, so that would be the square root of 6. So that means that this side right here is 4 square roots of 6. I want you to try example 3. So on example 3, the hard part about these problems is that you really have 3 different triangles you have to look at, right? And deciding which one you really want to use. So right here, if I look at the small triangle, then I have the hypotenuse and the short leg. If I look at the other smaller triangle, all I have is the long leg, correct? But if I look at the largest triangle, then I have the hypotenuse, which is going to be 7 plus 2, right? And then I have the short leg and the long leg. So short leg and hypotenuse is probably what we're going to be looking at. I'm going to do it down here. Short leg over hypotenuse. So my short leg was 2 over z. And if I look at my large one, my short leg is z over 9. So that gives me z squared is equal to 18. Then I'm going to take the square root of both of those. Then I could break that 18 down a little bit. That 18 broken down is 2 and 9, 3 and 3. So my answer should be 3 square roots of 2. How many of you had that?